Okay, serious talk now. So, where do I start with this? Oh, look, there's a lot of us that have noticed seriously how crazy the world's gotten and people just acting strange everywhere we go. Um, Even people you think you're friends with that just will turn your back on you or ghost you, or just people are acting really fucking weird. And a lot of us have noticed. Right, so these are my very well founded thoughts and theories. Okay, there's a lot of literature on this, so I didn't come up with it myself, but sometimes with the information you have to connect the dots yourself if it matters. I've got a child, so it really matters to me what the world's going to look like in future. It is something that consumes my thoughts. It matters. So, okay, there's a lot of videos of people doing videos saying that they're the chosen ones, and the world's gone mad, and I get where they're coming from, because it sounds like they're really well-intentioned people who just, no matter what relationship they enter or the situation they find themselves in, they always end up alone. People just acting strange, inconsistent. It's like love has been snuffed out of the world. Love, compassion, understanding, all the real stuff. Okay, so I have well, I will be talking a lot about amino acids, okay, because amino acids are what keep your nervous system healthy. And what's happening now is there's just so much opportunity to just get a dopamine hit everywhere we look. Okay, whether it's food, porn's a big problem, dating apps, going from person to person, hookup culture. I mean, everywhere we look, everywhere, we live in this absolute decadence that's messing with our dopamine levels. Because what's happening is essentially we can get a dopamine hit anytime we want. It's an artificial dopamine hit. And by the way, these glasses have got no glass in them, but they make me, I think I put them on and they make me feel like I'm smarter. Anyway, I'm only joking. I'm only fucking around. Right, so this chase for a constant dopamine hit, we live in a world that facilitates that. All right, so there's a big spiritual component about this, and a lot of people talking about the spiritual component, or saying it's like the chosen ones against the zombies, and I get it, but there is a physical component to this apart from the spiritual. Again, it is tied in, but when it's an overuse of constantly seeking dopamine is messing with people's nervous systems. So getting what we want all the time at every moment is really, first time in history that we know of that we've got this decadence. We all kind of live like kings and queens would live 500 years ago. Even sort of poor people now have the luxuries of what kings and queens had 500 years ago. It's too much decadence. Pandora's box is open, and everything's flooded out. That anything we want, it's there. But as a compromised is the amygdala, and the nervous system is being compromised. So we're giving up instant gratification for a healthy nervous system. And to me, it's so important to understand that. At what cost are we losing our minds? This is really what it comes down to. At what cost are we losing our minds? And the lack of education and knowledge surrounding this is unreal. I mean, kids are on TikTok watching 30-second videos all day, which just imagine is killing the serotonin levels in the brain. And there's no wonder why there's so much depression amongst kids. Okay, so the way amino acids tie into this, and another thing too, I heard a lady, the author of the Mood Cure, I've got the book here, actually, I'll get her name, Julia Ross. She made such a beautiful point, and it really made so much sense to me. It's like people's lights have gone out, and then we add the spiritual component to when people are dark and they kind of cling on to people with light. I'm starting to see, again, I delved into the spiritual side of it, but now I'm seeing the biological and actual scientific side of this phenomenon. And it's overuse of, well, not overuse, it's a constant chase of dopamine, constantly. And it's snuffing out our light, which is also, we talk about the zombie apocalypse, and the way people seem dead, because it's all brain. It's I was at the gym the other day, right, and this is getting to the point where it's the insanity is it's either going to force you to think about what's going on, or you're just going to toe the line and go along with this craziness. All right, so I'm at the gym, and someone opened the door, and they mustn't have closed it properly. So all the alarms went off, and it was loud. Let me tell you, that alarm was really loud. People were still sort of floating around, still sitting on their phones, like at the machines, and still floating around like they couldn't hear it. And for me, it was like, are you fucking kidding? Because someone turned that off. All right, and I'm trying to find solutions for this alarm to shut up. Anyway, so I immediately looked at the door, realised the door was wedged open a bit, went closed the door, and the alarm stopped. And I literally, and everyone that was in the gym, I actually screamed out to get their attention and said, did anyone notice that? And I said, well, next time it just means that the door's not open, not closed properly. Just close the door. Do you understand? And they weren't, nothing was registering. And the way they sit on their phones while they're at a machine. And it's not like they're doing something quick and getting rid of the phone. They're actually sitting there like they're in their lounge rooms on their phones at a machine in the gym. And I tell you, that's just the cherry on top with everything I've been noticing about the weird behaviour of people. And I've concluded people's nervous systems are fucked. How do we repair the nervous system? There are solutions, and it's through amino acids. We need to balance out our dopamine, our serotonin, all in the natural way, to just feel human again, to return that light inside of us. Because now when I see people and they try to come for my light, I know exactly what's fucking going on now. I'm not worried about what they've got in them, or what is it their agenda is, or what's going on with them. I know what it is. Your nervous system's shot. You can't have relationships. It's this toxic way of living for people that's just becoming normal. Now, if you've got kids, do you really want your kids? Please think. Do you really want your kids living this cycle out with you without giving things thought? Everything's a temptation. It's all a temptation. At what cost? This is what I'm asking you. At what cost are we giving up our nervous system for instant gratification? Instant gratification and all the artificial dopamine hits everywhere are fucking up your brain. And that's what it's come down to. So if you're confused and you know you're a good soul with light in you, and you're confused as to why you don't have friends, family members are turning against you, you can't maintain relationships and friendships, people are just acting very strange, I promise you it's their nervous systems a shot. All right? There's probably more to that, okay? I'm not saying that actually I am saying that the nervous system is the answer. I actually am claiming that. So, again, I'm going to be doing videos and I'm going to be telling my listeners the categories of the amino acids and what they do. And they're bio-instant, so you'll feel them within 20 minutes of taking them. These are no-nonsense brain power brain power medicine. This is no bullshit, this stuff. Okay? You want your light returning within you. You the answer is the nervous system. All right? So I hope this makes sense, because I tell you, if this is resonating with people, if it's making sense, it's like, yeah, there had to be an answer why people's light is being snuffed out of them. Why the experience with people is just so weird. What is up with people? What's wrong with them? Like, it's weird. That's it. Just look at them, go, oh wow, shit. And what you don't want is you don't want the virus, the mind virus as well, which means you don't want your nervous system shot. And if you've got issues with depression and anxiety and motivation and all those things, it's because your nervous system's is compromised too, right? But if you're aware, because we don't want to get stuck in this, and it's easy to do, how bad the world is and how people are. We still want to connect. We still want to bond with people. We still want connection with people, and that's getting stripped away when we're our nervous system shot. And well, why connect with other people and have beautiful connections with people when people can just go on their phone, okay, or eat, or people are replacing human connection with dopamine hits. This is serious shit. Pay attention. If you got kids, pay attention. This is what we're up against. Anyway, thanks for listening, and work on your light within. Keep that light. Keep that light, because that's what's keeping you separate to the zombies.